Hello and welcome to our overview training of the Boulder County BuildSmart Residential Energy Code, specific to compliance with building programs. BuildSmart is based on the 2021 IECC as published in Chapter 11 of the IRC. In this presentation, however, we will give you more information about what it means to build to the building programs as required by the BuildSmart Code. Specifically, we will talk to the Energy Star program, the DOE Zero Energy Ready Homes program that has recently been renamed the DOE Efficient New Homes program, the two Passive House programs, and the Living Building Challenge program. I will also remind you from time to time that compliance with the building program requirements is only part of the compliance pathway measures that the home must follow. So be sure to view the other presentations in this series, as well as the BuildSmart code itself. As you may remember from the new construction compliance presentation, you can find the Boulder County Building Code amendments on the Boulder County website. The URL is listed on the bottom of this slide. Once on this page, you will see that the code update went into effect on March 31st of 2025. So all new homes and existing home projects now have to submit for permit using this new code. The BuildSmart code uses the base 2021 IECC as a starting point, but also incorporates part of the state of Colorado's Electric Ready and Solar Ready Code and Low Energy and Carbon Code, and lastly, building programs that better ensure compliance. If you have not viewed the BuildSmart Boulder County new construction compliance presentation, please stop here and view that presentation first. As I said before, we will be focusing on the BuildSmart code, use of building programs for compliance in this presentation. The flowchart on this slide has been provided by Boulder County to ensure better understanding of the requirements and steps that must be followed to build a home in Boulder County that is compliant with the BuildSmart code. So first, determine the size of the home based on the conditioned floor area, not the finished floor area. Again, this should be based on Boulder County's definition of conditioned space, not the ResNet HERS definition. Also, once you have determined the flow path you must follow to determine compliance, the next step is to make it clear on your construction documents which of these three construction pathways you are using. Next, you need to determine the electrification and solar ready requirements that are applicable to your specific project. Then use table N1106.5 to figure out the required HERS Energy Rating Index score the house must achieve. This score may or may not be in alignment with the HERS Energy Rating Index requirement that is coming from the building program you will also have to use. Using the Energy Rater, begin doing energy modeling to determine the energy specifications that work for your specific project to meet the HERS Energy Rating Index requirements that we went over in the new construction compliance presentation. Finally, determine what programmatic requirements that must be accounted for. Like in the past, Boulder County's BuildSmart Energy Code utilizes building programs and building program verification to ensure better compliance. Reviewing what programmatic building is all about is the basis of this presentation. Remember that there are base mandatory requirements in the BuildSmart code that were discussed in detail in the Boulder County BuildSmart Mandatory Requirements presentation that also must be followed. These requirements may or may not also be required by the building programs, which is one reason that engaging an Energy Rater as early as possible in your planning process makes sense. The Energy Rater is used for the energy modeling that develops the HERS Energy Rating Index score, as well as provides all field inspections for BuildSmart and energy program compliance. Unlike the past BuildSmart code, the 2025 BuildSmart uses building programs requirements regardless of the size of the project. Homes that are less than or equal to 1,500 square feet of conditioned floor area must earn compliance and certification with the most recent version of the national requirements for Energy Star certification new homes. Don't worry, Boulder County will keep the latest version of the Energy Star New Homes Program compliance documents and checklist in case the program is permanently defunded. Generally speaking, however, this information will come from the Energy Star Energy Rater. The home must also meet all of the requirements for electrification and solar ready as required by the state of Colorado, and the home must achieve the HERS Energy Rating Index score as displayed in Table N1106.5. And lastly, the home must also be compliant with the mandatory requirements in Table 1106.2.1. We covered all of these requirements in the past presentation on new homes. Energy Star for New Homes is a U.S. Environmental Protection Agency program that certifies homes that are built to their specific standards. These homes feature superior insulation, air sealing, high-performance windows, efficient HVAC systems, and quality water management systems, leading to greater comfort, lower operation cost, and improved indoor air quality and durability. You may already be familiar with the Energy Star label, as the Energy Star label is on energy efficient products from light bulbs and computers to refrigerators and washing machines. One way to think about Energy Star is to imagine them as an organization that creates specifications for how to manufacture a refrigerator, for example, that meets a specific level of energy efficiency. If the manufacturer, whether it be Samsung or LG, Whirlpool, GE, Frigidaire, or Bosch, follows the specification, they can label their refrigerator with the Energy Star label and market it as an energy efficient product. In this way, the consumer only has to look for the Energy Star label to have peace of mind that the products that they are buying are efficient and effective. Energy Star took this philosophy to home building and created a specification for how to build a home that is efficient, durable, comfortable, and has better indoor air quality. Energy Star has created a checklist-driven program that is field verified to guide builders to a completed home that can be certified and labeled with the Energy Star label. Municipalities like Boulder County have adopted the use of programs to bolster their code to build better homes. The items on the 6th checklist are mandatory for compliance and certification and govern things like HVAC system design and installation, building thermal envelope R values, air leakage and installation, and building water management techniques like flashing details, weather-resistant barriers, and site drainage. Architects and builders who have not built an Energy Star home before, or who have not been guided by a building program before, may not realize everything that is required and that goes into having a successful project. Energy Star therefore requires that the builder become an Energy Star partner. Others, like an architect, can partner as well by going to the web link on this slide. You will need to watch a short orientation video to learn more about the program and the program requirements. Energy raters also must be Energy Star qualified, and depending on the type of HVAC equipment installed in the home, potentially the HVAC contractor will also have to be an Energy Star qualified contractor. This takes us back to the notion that building is a team sport, and that it makes sense to build your team early to ensure the best outcome. Energy raters specifically should be brought into the design process as soon as possible, as they will help guide the architect and builder to a successful outcome. The Energy Star certification process provides flexibility in that it does not require prescriptive insulation levels or mechanical systems be installed in the home. Rather, an energy model of the proposed home is performed and is then compared to the same home if it were built to the prescriptive Energy Star reference design. As long as the proposed home's design performs equal to or better than the home built with the prescriptive Energy Star reference design, it complies. In this way, the architect, in consultation with the builder and energy rater, can help determine the most cost-effective way to meet the program performance target as measured by the HERS Energy Rating Index score. In Boulder County, the home will have to meet the lower HERS Energy Rating Index score that is determined by Table N1106.5 or the Energy Star Proposed Design Energy Model. Again, a reason why it is important to engage an energy rater as soon as possible in the design process. After the HERS Energy Rating Index target score has been determined and the specifications established to meet the target score have been nailed down, building permitting of the house can happen. When you get to the construction phase, execution of the building techniques will be field verified. The energy rater will perform a minimum of 3 field inspections, but sometimes more as desired. These inspections are used to determine things like duct leakage and HVAC installation and air barrier systems that have been installed in accordance with the BuildSmart code and the Energy Star requirements. And just before the house is complete, a final blower door and mechanical testing inspection will take place that will also be used to evaluate attic insulation and other checklist items that can only be field verified at completion. New homes that are between 1,501 square feet and 3,000 square feet of conditioned floor area must earn compliance and certification to the Department of Energy's Zero Energy Ready Homes program, which has recently been renamed the DOE Efficient New Homes Program. The DOE program builds on the back of the Energy Star program, which means that the home must earn compliance and certification with the Energy Star program. And in addition, the DOE program utilizes the EPA's Indoor Air Plus program as well. Again, the home must also meet all the requirements for electrification and solar ready as required by the BuildSmart adoption of the state of Colorado's Electrification and Solar Ready Code. The home must also achieve the HERS Energy Rating Index score as outlined in Table N1106.5, and lastly, must be compliant with the mandatory requirements in Table 1106.2.1. The Department of Energy has been working on a new version of the Efficient New Homes program, so any home permitted after January 1st of 2026 will have to comply with version 2 of the DOE Efficient New Homes program. This takes us well beyond the base Energy Star for Homes certification, which is required, by adding building envelope performance that is equal to or better than the 2024 International Energy Conservation Code, ensuring that duct systems, including the equipment and the duct itself, are 100% within the building thermal envelope. Water heating efficiency measures, including the WaterSense for Homes program, another EPA program focused on water use efficiency as well as hot water efficiency. All lights and appliances must be Energy Star certified, and compliance with the EPA's Indoor Air Plus program must happen, which obviously focuses on indoor air quality issues. And finally, the program does not require electrification of the home, but does require that the home is renewable ready, so that the house is ready for renewable energy systems when the occupant is ready to add those systems. Electrical vehicle ready, heat pump water heater ready, heat pump space heating systems ready, meaning that an electric outlet needs to be installed to facilitate the consumer's choice to purchase all electric replacement appliances if gas is originally installed in the home. Once again, I need to emphasize the importance of engaging with a DOE Energy Rater as soon as possible in the construction design process, because much of this will be new to the architect and builder. Specifically, ensuring that the entire HVAC system is installed within the building thermal envelope, and understanding that the water efficiency measures include a hot water circulation system as well as the WaterSense program are crucial to understand up front. The EPA's Indoor Air Plus program includes a required radon system and verifying that building components such as composite woods, paints, stains, and the like are manufactured so as not to off-gas excessive volatile organic compounds. Lastly, ensuring that the house is electric ready is not difficult, but it can seem redundant, leading to misunderstanding and noncompliance that could lead to the inability to receive the BuildSmart certificate of occupancy. Talking through all of these details and requirements at the planning and design phase is the best way to begin navigating a successful project. New homes that are larger than 3,000 square feet of conditioned floor area must earn compliance and certification to one of the following programs. Therefore, they have a lot of choice. The most recent version of the DOE Zero Energy Ready Homes program, either version of the Passive House programs, PHI or FIAS, the platinum level of the LEED for Homes program, or the Living Building Challenge program. Again, the home must also meet all the requirements for electrification and solar ready and must achieve the HERS Energy Rating Index score outlined in Table N 1106.5. The home must also be compliant with the mandatory requirements in Table N 1106.2.1. And lastly, the home must comply with the embodied carbon requirements in 1108. This is only a requirement for homes that are larger than 3,000 square feet. I just described the DOE Efficient New Homes program in great depth, so let's move on to Passive House. Building a Passive House certified home is without a doubt a serious technical challenge for the average home builder in the United States. Passive House does not mean passive solar. Rather, it is a building technique and program that revolves around a super robust building thermal envelope, significantly reduced building air tightness and air leakage, proper whole house ventilation, reduced thermal bridging, and superior windows in the building envelope. This radically drives down heat loss and heat gain in the home, thereby increasing comfort and reducing operational cost. To further complicate matters, there are not one but two certification bodies in the U.S. that you can choose to use. PHI, or Passive House Institute, is based in Germany and is represented in the U.S. by the North American Passive House Network. And FIAS, or Passive House Institute U.S., that has adapted the PHI standards that are based on German climate zones to make them more compatible with the United States climate zone model. Understanding the requirements, building science, and designing a building that uses next to no energy takes time and will add time to your building and permitting process, primarily because you will have to engage with a Passive House consultant, rater, and/or verifier depending on which Passive House program is decided to be used. Once again, it is imperative to collect your team as soon as possible to be successful. LEED for Homes is a U.S. Green Building Council certification program for new residential buildings. It promotes high performance, healthy, efficient, and sustainable homes by rewarding best practices in design and construction for low energy water use, better indoor air quality, reduced environmental impacts, resulting in lower utility bills and healthier living spaces. The LEED for Homes program is also a checklist-driven program that steps out beyond the physical home and addresses some sustainable issues at the building site and greater community in general. Successful certification using the LEED for Homes program will once again require the use of an energy rater and a LEED for Homes program consultant. Therefore, again, remember to build your design and construction team early so you can get their input early and often. The Living Building Challenge is probably the most ambitious building standard or program that you can choose to use to demonstrate compliance with the BuildSmart code. The Living Building Challenge is designed to build a regenerative building, a philosophy and certification program by the International Living Future Institute that pushes buildings to be net positive, creating more energy, capturing all their water, and generating zero waste, while fostering human health and ecological restoration. The Living Building Challenge is managed by the nonprofit International Living Future Institute, and you can get more information through the link on this slide. As a reminder, regardless of the program that you use to demonstrate compliance with the BuildSmart code, BuildSmart requires a HERS Energy Rating Index compliance documentation for permitting and at the end of construction to get the certificate of occupancy. This is outlined in the BuildSmart Code sections N1106.7, .2.1, and N1106.7.2.2. Other documents that are required are listed on the BuildSmart Compliance Guide that is located on the Boulder County website. These reports include, but are not limited to, the required N1101.14 certificate to be posted in the home at final, the HERS Energy Rating Index report demonstrating the home's energy efficiency and compliance with the minimum HERS Energy Rating Index score as outlined in Table N1106.5. The HERS report must also include the fuel summary report and full building file report. Specific program compliance documentation, including certification documentation, must be turned in as well. Electrification and solar ready documentation, including a whole house electrical load calculation and documents demonstrating compliance with the state's electrification and solar ready code, including the designated solar ready zone, roof area, and other solar ready compliance documentation. Electric vehicle charging outlet location and wiring, embodied carbon reporting for homes larger than 3,000 square feet, as well as HVAC load and design reports for homes of any size must be turned in to the building department as well. So to conclude, we see that the BuildSmart Code incorporates the use of building programs and the certification of a home with a building program based on the size of the home itself. Leveraging the energy model of the HERS Energy Rating Index compliance approach can reveal the most cost-effective way to achieve better performance and compliance with the BuildSmart Code and the requirements that are in both the base code and the program the house uses. It also has the potential to create more comfort and reduced operational cost for homeowners, as there is an opportunity to use the required energy model to develop a number of different scenarios and determine which one is best in any particular case. I also want to be sure that you know that Boulder County Code staff is available to you when working on your project submittal, so ask questions early in the project if you have them. There is no reason to go down the wrong path. Lastly, building is a team sport, as I've said before, so get your project team together as early as possible to ensure success and to determine the best way to work towards compliance with the BuildSmart Code and the accompanying programs that are used to demonstrate compliance. Thank you for listening to this presentation on BuildSmart compliance using building programs. You can download the Boulder County Building Code and amendments that includes the BuildSmart code from the web address on this slide, or just Google Boulder County Building Code. If you have questions, please reach out through the email or the phone number listed on this slide. Please also look at the Boulder County website for all available presentations that describe compliance with different sections of the BuildSmart Code. In addition, you can find the compliance guides and other useful information that will make planning and permitting your building project much easier. Thanks much for listening to this presentation.